What's up, y'all? Thanks for tuning in to BODHI. My name's JJ. We've got Casey practicing with us today. 60-minute Vinyasa flow class. Let's start in the pose of the child. Child's pose. So let your hips fall towards your heels. Let your forehead rest down on a surface. If the floor is far away, please raise the floor up with a pillow, blanket, block. From your hips pulling back, let's just crawl your arms far forward. Reach towards the front of the mat. And as the hands push down, the undersides of your arms lift up. And as those triceps firm in, those inner shoulders, they resist out into that. And this pose gives you a great opportunity to direct your breath into the lateral side ribs and the posterior back ribs. Right. So when you're inhaling, just doing your best not to push your ribs down into your legs. You got 60% of your lungs in the back of your body. A couple more full breaths. Just find that rhythm of breath that you can keep steady for the next hour, in and out through the nose. Let's come forward to the tabletop position. Feel free to turn your hands slightly off to the sides if your shoulders are on the tighter side today. But let's run through a few rounds of cat-cow. So let's inhale, do the back bend shape. And on your exhale, flexion happens in the spine. You round it like a scared cat. So inhale, lengthens the front. And exhale, lengthens the back. Yeah. Inhale. And exhale. Do this a few times by yourself. If you want, you can look at the eyes of your elbows as you cat-cow, and just trying to keep the arms, fixed, the shoulders fixed, as you just move your spine in different directions. And we'll neutralize everything out. Neutral spine, center of your sit bones, aim straight back behind you. Let's tuck your toes under. Hover your knees off the floor the slightest bit. Those knees hover. Yeah. Inner shoulders lift high. And just preheat the oven here like this. Right foot steps to the plank position. Maximum space from that back heel through your head. Always going in two different directions. So your right knee is going to come back where it came from. So just bring your knees in the same line to a hover. And now your left foot's going to sneak back to the plank position. Right foot to the plank position. So at the top of a push-up, pulling yourself apart, trying to separate your hips and your spine. Everything that's on the mat pushes down. Everything that's off the mat lifts up without rounding. And then lift up so much you go back to downward facing dog, the most famous yoga pose ever. Downward facing dog. All right, let's lift your heels high and exaggerate, embellish the tops of the inner thighs, spiraling towards the wall behind you. It's like you're trying to pigeon-toe your feet, but you don't quite go pigeon-toed. Right? And that turning of the inner thighs back is going to help create space around the sacrum, around the lumbar. Right? Keep lifting the hips up as you pull your heels back. Stretching your heels away from the toes away from the heels. Yeah. Try to get really still. And as you resist your hips back some more, let the top of your head pull you forward to the top of a push-up. That's on an inhalation. And then drive the crown of your head forward as you exhale, pull back to go to downward facing dog. Hips pull back, inhale, crown of the head drives you forward to plank. And then resisting the crown of the head forward as you exhale up to go back, downward facing dog. Inhale, shifting to plank pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. All right, please place your left knee to the floor right under your hip. Turn your back heel into the mat. Reach your right arm up towards the ceiling. Modified version of side plank Vashisthasana. The left arm's a pillar. External rotation in the upper arm bone, also known as the humerus bone. Right? Now, hover your right leg up parallel to the mat. Bring your right hand to your right hip. Right? So we're going to fold your right knee, pull your right heel towards your sit bone, and if it's available, the right hand's going to catch the right foot. Right? So the top leg's parallel to the floor. You're shooting your right knee away from the hip socket, drawing that right shin bone into the hand. Get a nice stretch for the front of your right shoulder, and sort of blossom open into it. It's my flowery word for today. Blossom. Your heart open. All right. So just keep your hand on your foot, and you're going to use that to guide your right foot all the way up to the front of the mat. So you're just going to bring your right knee in towards the chest, right foot to the front. Bring your hands to your front knee thigh, please. Yep. Drive the hands into the front leg. Elevate the spine out of the bowl of the pelvis. And it's like every vertebra of the spine is trying to lift off the one below it. So those discs get nice and fluffy between the vertebrae. Let's stretch your arms up. Reach beyond the fingertips. Right, now bury the front heel. You're going to curl the back toes under. And just hover your back knee the slightest bit. I slide a piece of paper between your knee and the floor. Yep, Casey's doing a great job. The top of that front leg's parallel to the floor. She's got the connection of the frontal hips and the bottom sternum. And then go up through the outer shoulders, outer arms. Gaze might shift up. Full breath in. Exhale, palms to the mat. Sneak to plank pose. Pause and plank. So still think up as you bend your arms for chaturanga, exhale, and then pause. Plank pose, inhale. Pull back to the down dog, exhale. All right, place your right knee down right under the hip. Turn your back heel into the floor. Stretch your left arm up towards the ceiling. So as the entire circumference of your right palm pushes down, let that lift your right wrist up. Let that lift the right elbow off of the right wrist, the right shoulder off the right elbow, and the shoulder blades will spread, the chest spreads open, back leg hovers to the height of your pelvis, top hand to the top hip. You're going to fold your left knee, pulling the left heel towards the sit bone. You can catch the hand to the foot. Keeping the left thigh bone parallel to the floor. Kick the left foot into the hand. Nice stretch for the front of your left shoulder. Yeah. And keep some attention in your right palm grounding down. Your left foot, you're going to sneak that left foot all the way up to the front of the mat. Yep. Hands to the front knee thigh. Tailbone is heavy. Crown of the head lifts up out of that. Your arms are going to lift up. Yeah. And as you stamp the front foot down, let's curl the back toes under and just hover that back knee up off the floor. It's a mountain of strength in the legs, using that strength to lift the side waist, the side ribs, the outer shoulders, go up through the outer arms. And it's your spine that's going to shift the gaze up, full breath in, and then exhale, hands down. Step to plank pose, inhale, and broaden your chest as you bend your arms for chaturanga, exhale. Drop to the mat, point your toes back. All right, so let's just lift your right leg up off the floor without the hip coming along for the ride. Internally rotate that right thigh. Place it back down. Reach your left leg back so much it lifts up. And then roll your left inner knee higher than the outer knee. That creates internal rotation, and then place it back down. All right, lace up your fingers behind your back. Press the heels of your hands together. Right, and as you anchor through the pubic bone, curl your chest up off of the floor. And just notice if your belly's heavy on the mat. Try to cinch in the waist, lift the belly away from the floor. Your sacrum is going to push your heels way back behind you to lift the legs up. Yeah. And I bet some of us at home are cranking into the back of the neck by lifting your chin up. You can sort of keep the chin down. It's like the throat that moves back. Let's release on your exhale. All right, let's switch the lace of the fingers. You're going to lace up your hands the bizarre way. All right, stamp the feet down and then pull your spine forward to lift your chest up. And you're going to reach back through your legs so much they lift up off the floor. Nice. Let this go. Place the forehead down. Plant the palms by the side ribs. Tuck your toes under. So keep your forehead down. Lift your sacrum up. Come up to plank pose. Inhale. Down dog. Exhale. All right, walk your feet all the way up to the front of the mat. Hands to the shin bones. Backs of the legs come forward as you inhale. Take a half lift. And exhale, fold. Right, same thing. Inhale, reach your collarbones forward. Shoulder blades draw back. Exhale, bow. Inhale, look out. Bring your hands to your pelvis. Squeeze the elbows in, and then stand up for yourself. Yeah, relax your arms by the sides. Palms face forward. So imagine that the crown of your head is suspended from the ceiling as you reach your feet towards the floor. So the crown of the head's on this little rubber band. Your feet are off the mat and you're trying to reach your feet to the floor. Right? And then you're going to circle your arms out and up, look up, fold in half, exhale. Inhale, look forward. Yeah, step your right foot to the back. Drop the knee down. Just one breath. Inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step to plank pose. Bend your arms, chaturanga, exhale. Inhale, roll over the feet. Lift the inner thighs high to the sky. Exhale, rebounds the hips up and backwards. So inhale, stretch your right leg back and up. Exhale, step your right foot forward. Drop the back knee to the floor. Just one breath. Inhale, reach up beyond your fingers. Exhale, hands to the mat. Straighten your back leg and step to the front of the mat. Inhale, half extension. Exhale, flexion. Push the feet down to stand up. Inhale. Exhale, pull it to the heart so you get a little taller. Inhale, lift your arms out of your heels. Go forward to fold all your breath out. Inhale, heart forward. Left foot backwards. Drop the knee. One breath. Inhale, go up, up, up. Exhale, hands down. Step to plank pose and bend your arms as you, yes. Inhale, roll over. Exhale, pull back. So lead with the inseam as you inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, step in between your hands. Back knee drops. Inhale, lift yourself up off your pelvis. Exhale, hands down. Step to the front. Inhale, feed your chest forward. Exhale, fold. Root to rise, inhale. Exhale, pull it into the heart. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, and we fold. Inhale, open up. Palms flat on the mat, handstand in the arms, step to plank pose. Take it, inhale and plank. Broaden your shoulder blades as you bend your arms. Try that out, exhale. Inhale, roll over the feet. Exhale, hips pull back, downward facing dog. So the underside of your arms is really buoyant. The rims of your armpits are lifting up. You're gonna lift your head up higher than you think. Bend your knees, squeeze the last drop of breath out of there, then step or spring forward. Inhale, lengthen everything. Exhale, fold. Inhale, stand, reach, look up. Exhale, pull it to the heart as you lift the scalp. Inhale, arms lift. Tailbones heavy as you bow down. Exhale. Inflate the chest forward as you propel the legs back directly to chaturanga. Inhale, roll over the feet. You got those feet down on that roll over to down dog. Exhale, lift your hips up. And we're facing dog. Please come to plank pose. Lift your right leg up off the floor. So bend your right knee, but you're gonna lift your right heel up towards the ceiling. Yeah. So we get the back body invited to the plank party. The back body always gets left out of the plank party. Yeah. So now bring your right knee into the chest. Yeah, three-legged dog. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, step your right foot forward. Drop the back knee down, just one breath. Inhale, lift the spine, the arms, the gaze. Exhale, hands down. Pause, straighten through the back leg. Tuck the back toes under to straighten through the back leg. So turn your left heel into the mat. So heel to heel is gonna be the hardest way to do this pose. You can definitely go wider if your hips are like that. Right. And reach your arms straight out in front of you. Frontal hip points to the bottom ribs to the frontal hip points, and then keep going forward to stand up to warrior one. Just a couple breaths here. And we're really prepping the front of your left hip for some back bends later on in class. Keep turning your left hip around the strong and long back left leg, and then use your back heel to climb those back ribs up off the kidneys. Yes, and then the bottom tips of your shoulder blades can go all the way up towards the fingers. Lift your gaze up, inhale through the nose. Exhale, hands to the mats. Step to plank pose and pause. So hover your left foot up off the floor, keeping the pelvis level. Lift your left heel up towards the ceiling, towards the roof. Yeah. Just a couple breaths here. Bring your left knee into the chest. Three-legged dog. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, step your left foot forward. Drop the back knee down, just one breath. Inhale, Anjane. Exhale, hands down. Tuck the back toes, straighten through the back leg. So back heel turns in for warrior one. All right, there's a couple breaths here. The left outer hip turns towards the back heel. That right frontal hip point turns towards the left heel. And let's reach your arms forward away from the side waist. Keep closing off the front ribs, and it's forward to stand up to warrior one. Just a couple breaths here. Spread your attention evenly throughout the pose. All right. Low belly spins to the left. Ribs are square to the front. And as you push the feet down some more, lift the spine up some more, the gaze, full breath in. Exhale, hands down. Just inhale to plank. Resist gravity as you bend your arms for chaturanga. Exhale. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Yes. The potential of a handstand is in those arms. Look past your fingers, bend your knees, empty your breath, and then put on your jetpack. Fly up there. Inhale, open up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, stand, reach, look up. Exhale, pull it into the heart. Inhale, arms lift. Hips pull back, chair pose. Yeah. So place your chest on your legs, hands to the mat. Exhale, hips to the sky. Inhale, heart forward. Step or float, chaturanga. Inhale, lift the back of the heart. Exhale, right foot to the front. Left heel turns in. Just one breath. Inhale, go for it. Exhale, hands down. Keep breathing out as you bend your arms. That's a long breath out. Inhale, roll over the feet. Exhale, left foot forward. Back heel turns. One breath. Inhale. Exhale takes you all the way down to the bottom of a push-up. Inhale, pull the spine forward. Exhale, pull the thighs back. Right. Plank pose. Swivel your heels to the left. Reach your right arm up. Vashisthasana. So compact this left waist to lift up that right waist. Yes, shoulder blades protracting, collarbones broadening, maybe shifting the gaze up towards that right hand. And feeling the sacrum go towards the heels as the back of your skull goes away from the sacrum. Nice. Stack the legs if you want a little more. If you want to keep going up the ladder, just hover your right leg off your left leg. Bottom hips lifted. Nice. And then look down for plank pose. Right hand to the mat, right foot to the mat. Right, swivel your heels to the right. Reach your left arm up. Yeah. So it's like you're flat against the wall behind you, so the back of your skull is in line with the back of the pelvis. Keeping those bottom ribs under your guidance the whole time. Options to stack the legs. Option to lift the left leg off the right leg. And then look down, place your left palm to the mat, left foot to the mat, plank pose. Chaturanga if you really want to do one. Down dog, in case he doesn't want to do one. Step your right foot forward, please. Right, turn your back heel into the floor. Stand up to warrior two. Your left arm's going to pull you up. Virabhadrasana B. Heel to heel alignment or front heel to back arch. Top of the front thigh works to get parallel towards the floor. See if you can soften the top of your front leg. Right. Back legs, just like Tadasana, it's neutral. Front pelvis lifts, back ribs lift. And as you stretch your chest apart, stretch your shoulder blades apart. Those shoulder blades push your arms apart. Right. So your right forearm, let's push it down into the front leg. Right. Take your left arm up. Yeah, straight up towards the sky. So you're going to internally rotate the top arm to drop it behind your low back towards your right front pocket. So we want to find the support of your lower abdominals, cinching in the waistband three-dimensionally. Do or don't reach your right arm forward. You really got to tap into the support of your legs. Spin the belly, the ribs, and the chest up. And just pretend to enjoy it for a few breaths. So you can come back to the front thigh with the right elbow, or you can place the right hand down inside to a surface, block, or floor. Yeah, last few. And let's come back to warrior two. Inhale, warrior two, untangle that left arm. Yeah. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step to plank. Choose the direction you want to head from plank pose. We'll meet in the downward facing dog pose. Step your left foot to the front. Turn your back heel in. And your right arm's going to drag you up to warrior two, Vidya Bhadrasana B. So put your attention down into the bottoms of the feet. That's the source of the pose. Source energy from the feet. Pull that energy all the way up to get some length up through the spine. We can tend to allow this left hip to just rest on the left thigh. We want to lift the left frontal hip point up, pelvis level. That's going to give you the most length up through the spine. It's like the tops of your ears are lifting up. You can karate chop the arms back. You're going to turn your left hip to the back foot to take your left forearm to the top of your front leg. Right arm straight up to the sky. And then internally rotate the top arm. It's going to undo the chaturangas that we do. Right hand towards the left front pocket. So you're either driving the left forearm down into the front leg, or if you want, you can reach the left arm to the front and you go unsupported side angle pose. Yes. So you've got the option to come back where you came from, or make it a little harder. You can take the left hand down to a block or to the floor. Keep gripping the left hip in, getting maximal space from the back heel through the roof of your mouth. And then very dramatic, roll the chest open, pushing the feet down, stand back up to warrior two, inhale. So exhale, hands to the mat, plank pose. So think about reaching back through your heels as your spine pulls forward to bend your arms. Inhale, upward facing dog. Shoulder heads roll back. Exhale, downward facing dog. All right, step your right foot to the front. Pivot your back heel in. Stand up to warrior two. Left arm's going to pull you up. All right, so straighten your front leg. Pull your right hip behind you as you reach out in front of you for triangle pose. Right hand down, ankle, block, or floor. Yeah, and if you're hypermobile in the knees, triangle pose can be a conundrum. It's almost like a block. It's like pushing up on the back of your calf right there. And when you put the weight in the center of your front foot, that should help to protect the back and the back knee. Tailbone is going to hook into the left inner thigh. Right. Let's take your top hand around your low back. Right. Roll that top shoulder back behind you. Right. So your legs have got to be really active as we go unsupported triangle pose. That right arm reaches to the front. Contain those front bottom ribs. Nice. So look down, bend your front leg, right, and then pull your back leg up to the height of your pelvis. Ardha Chandrasana, standing half moon pose. Yes. Pillar of support in the right leg. Right. That left foot slightly rotating in, left thigh bone slightly rotating in. Right. Right hand's light. So you've got the option to stay. Option to fold your left knee. Left heel pulls towards the sitting bone. If it's within hand's reach, take your left hand to your left foot or ankle. The Chipasana variation. Right? And once you have that back foot, just shoot your left knee away from the pelvis. It's almost like my hand is on that inner left knee and you're pushing your inner left knee down into my touch. So nice. Lengthen that bottom waist. Elongate the bottom ribs forward. And let's go for this back bend. Kick the shin into the hand. Open the top shoulder. So if you're up for a little challenge, can you keep the hand to the back ankle as you dial this left hip down to standing splits? Yes. And with your hand on the foot, keep reaching your left knee up towards the ceiling. Yes. Should feel the front of that left hip. Keep the knee bent, take your left hand down to the floor. Yeah, and keep reaching that left knee up. Reaching the left knee up. Now straighten the left leg. Hands to the mat, and just feel what it's like to push your hands down. Just feel what it's like to push your hands into the mat. Create this horseshoe shape with the inner arms lifting up, the sternum lifting up. Can you push your hands down so much that your right heel starts to lift up off the floor? And yeah, you can hop that right foot back a little bit. Yes. Can you push your hands down so much that right foot just magically floats up off the floor? Oh, yes. One more little hop. Third time's the charm. Oh, get out of there. Step back, jump back. That was nice work. Step your left foot forward. Pivot the back heel in. Right arm pulls you up, warrior two. Straighten your front leg, please. If you like to bump the back foot in a drop, do so. But for triangle pose, pull your left sitting bone behind the right sitting bone. Compact that left waist as you reach forward to place your left hand down to a surface. Right arm goes up. Yeah. So we got internal rotation in the top arm. Right hand is going to fall around your back towards the left front pocket. And then put on that corset around your ribs. I wouldn't know what a corset really feels like, but I've been told that when you really thread those front ribs together, it feels like you've got a corset on in there. Right? And then let's go unsupported. Let's reach your left arm to the front. Your vision seals to one particular point, and as you bend the front leg, pull your back leg up to the height of your hip for Ardha Chandrasana, the half moon pose. Yeah. You got the four corners of your left foot grounding down, and it's going to help to jump your left hip off the leg as you shoot your right leg out of the hip. Right. So you're more than welcome to stay here. Right? Chitpasana variation, folding the top knee so your top hand catches the top foot. However you like to do that. So don't lose the core work. Keep pulling the frontal hip points towards the front ribs. Right? Top legs parallel to the mat. And you can open into it. You can kick the foot into the hand. So it's like the foot holds the hand. You got a nice stretch for the front of your right shoulder. There's a couple more breaths to really grow out of the pose, or grow into it, however you want to look at it. And then try this out. Can you keep the back foot? Start to dial your right hip down towards the floor. So you go to standing splits with a bent top leg. With that bent top leg, you're reaching your quadriceps away from the pelvis. You're trying to point your right knee straight up to the ceiling. And always know when I'm challenging Casey because she does the Darth Vader breath. Right hand down to the mat. Can you keep that top knee bent? And just really try to open the front of your right pelvis here. Point your right knee straight up. Keep that feeling as you straighten your top leg. All right, you can breathe here. 5 breaths. Handstand junkies. Plant your hands to the mat. You can jump your left foot back about 6 inches. Right, so try to stand on the ceiling with the bottom of your right foot. Right, inner shoulders lift high. And don't worry about doing a handstand. Just be so concerned about pushing your hands down. Just keep pushing your hands down. If that left foot lifts up, it lifts up. If it doesn't lift up, it doesn't lift up. Yes. Last one. And then get out of there. Downward facing dog. Shoo. All right, look to the front, bend your knees, walk, jump, maybe handstand up there, maybe just hang up there for a little bit. Inhale, look up, or not. Exhale, fold. Chair pose, inhale. Hands to the heart, let's twist to the right. Left arm's gonna hook outside the right thigh. Palms press and the thumbs are going to magnetize to the center of your heart as the shoulder blades go flat against the wall behind you. Yes. Inhale, come through the middle, chair pose. Exhale, hands to the heart. Twist your breath out to the left. The front body absorbs into the back body. Palms press, thumbs to the heart. Inhale through center, chair pose. Twist to the right, exhale. Chest opens. Inhale through the middle. Exhale to the left. Inhale through the middle. Hips stay low. Exhale to the right. Hips pull back, ribs pull forward. Inhale to the middle, chair pose. Exhale to the left. Inhale through the middle. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, look out. Plant your hands. Plan your escape to the down dog. Exhale. Inhale. Down dog. Exhale. Inhale, lift your right leg up. Exhale, step your right foot through. Inhale, lift your arms straight up. All right, reach your left arm forward. Eagle arms, left arm under the right arm. All right, lift the elbows up and then bring your chest right over your front thigh. All right, let's lift up to warrior three. That right leg's gonna lift. Yeah, nice straight line from the heel to the head. Right. So left hand down, block or floor. Bring your right hand to your right pelvis. Manually take the skin of your right hip back. Yeah. Now start to roll the chest open to the right. Reach the right arm up towards the ceiling. Then pull energy into the pelvic floor. That's going to rebound energy out of the pelvic floor in every single direction. And if your balance permits, test the waters. Can you look up towards that top hand? Yeah. And look down. Place your right hand down to the floor. All right. So bend both of your knees. So a nice fun transition. We're going to corkscrew your left knee down the right leg for seated spinal twist. So just slide your left knee to the outside of your right leg. Yes. You can sit all the way down. So take your right hand behind your pelvis. Reach your left arm up towards the ceiling. And exhale, left arm's going to hook outside your right thigh. So let the sitting bones release down into the floor, and that's going to allow you to lift up the lumbar spine. You just keep climbing the spine up to help you facilitate this twist. So let's look forward. So we're going to come right back to revolved half moon on your right foot. So untangle the twist, hands to the front of the mat. Right? Push the right foot down and you're going to blossom open into revolved half moon again. Parivrtta Ardha Chandrasana. Yes. And it's over. Hands to the mat, standing splits. So this is your exit. Plan accordingly. You can jump ship and just step back to the downward facing dog, or you can get one hop this time. One hop this time. Go for the transition. When that right foot up, reach it back and bend the arms. Chaturanga. Ah, nice. Down dog, exhale. All right, inhale, lift the left leg up. Exhale, step the left foot forward. Crescent pose, inhale. So just your right arm reaches forward to handshake fashion. You're gonna weave it under the left arm for the eagle arms. Now move your elbows up and pull your wrists forward. Bring the chest parallel to the mat. Come up in one piece, don't lose the middle as you come on up to warrior 3. Yeah. Right hand down, left hand to that left hip crease. You manually clip the left hip into the socket. So nice. Right, turn the belly up, the ribs up, the chest up, the left arm goes up. Yeah, strong back leg. Yes. Push the envelope a little bit. See if you can't look up towards that left hand. Starts to get a little windy. Don't lose that right leg. Keep lifting that right hip up. Right. And place your left hand down. Right. Little bend in the standing leg. Bend your top leg. And then you're going to corkscrew your right thigh to the outside of your left leg and kerplunk. You're going to sit down. Right. Left hand can kickstand behind you. Inhale, lift your right arm up. Get as tall as you can. And then exhale, you're going to twist outside that left thigh. So it happens to almost everyone. That left hip will tend to hike up and scrunch up your left waist. You just want to melt the left hip down. Lift the tops of the ears up and get all the way around yourself, no pun intended. So we're going to let the twist go. Unravel yourself. Bring your hands around your front foot. Right? And you're going to push back up to revolved half moon. Just take a couple breaths to grow back into it. Yeah. And then place your left hand to the mat. Standing splits. So you can forget that handstands even exist if you want, or left foot steps halfway back. Right? Arms turn into your legs, hands turn into your feet. One hop, when that left foot gets up off the floor, reach it to the back of the mat as you bend your arms for that transition. Inhale. Exhale. 5 breaths in down dog. Just let that cleanse the palate out. Please place your knees to the floor. Sit behind your feet. Lie down on your back. Please bend your knees so your heels are going to be in line with your sitting bones. And reach your knees forward to lift your hips up for bridge pose. Trying to get your pubic bone as the highest part of the pose. So it's the pushing down through the feet like chair pose that's going to help you to jump the pelvis up. Reach your arms back. Keep pulling the knees and the hands apart. Right. So we won't go to wheel pose just yet, but let's just get the feel for it. You're going to plant your hands by the ears. Yeah, and just pause. Those elbows hug in. So the arms are doing the chaturanga here. Pull forward, hips lift high. Yeah, and then come on back down. Place the hips down. Yeah. Take a breath or two. So you're always welcome to stay at the base. You don't have to come up to the summit if wheel pose is such a big, demanding posture. So if it's not for you today, you can just stay with a bridge, but let's reach your knees forward, lift your hips up. Let's just start off with a bridge pose. You just lift the hips. Reach your arms up to the ceiling. And then back over your head. Then bend your arms, plant the hands, right by the ears. So elbows hug in. The inhale is a good thing to do to come up to the wheel pose. So inhale, come all the way up. Yes. So the outer edges of the feet parallel. Right, that's front ribs, front pelvis, they're magnetizing towards each other. You really want to exaggerate the tops of your inner thighs where the psoas complex attaches to the lesser trochanters. That spot is turning down to wide in the low back. Let the head just drop. Now bring your chin to your heart and then bend your arms. Come all the way back down. Knees together, feet are wide. Yeah. Inner thighs soft. Hug your knees into your chest. Give yourself a little squeeze. So we're going to go Supine Gomukhasana. You're going to go right knee over the left knee. If this is too much, you go figure 4. That's fine too. When you cross the knees, grab for the shins or for the bottoms of your feet. Mindful of if your sacrum's off the mat, your hips are being pulled forward to try to get that sacrum down. And it's gonna be more stretch the higher the shins go up and the more the shins come towards your face. You'll get more sensations. So we're going to take a little spinal twist here. If you are into keeping your legs wrapped up, you might wrap the legs twice around one another to come to this twist off to the left. Or if that's too much, just unravel your legs and find your favorite variation of a spinal twist. So on your next inhalation, just suspend that breath at the top. And we'll finish it off with an exhale out the mouth. Come back to the middle. Untangle the legs, hug the knees in. And you'll go left knee over the right knee, grabbing your shins or the feet. Spread the toes and endlessly pull your hips to the front of your mat. Get a nice outer hip stretch here. So if it feels appropriate to keep the legs wrapped up, right, you can do that. That left foot will wrap around the right calf. If it's too much, just forget I said anything about it, and those hips are going to shimmy to the left as you twist across your body to the right. The side's a little different. And you just a handful of luxurious breaths in this little twist. And the next time you breathe in, just pause at the top. Side out the mouth. So unravel the legs, come through the middle. Hug your knees into your chest. So take your hands behind your legs, reach your feet up towards the ceiling. So we're going to do a forward fold on your back. So instead of our torso folding over our legs, we're going to fold your legs over your torso. So the hips stay pulling forward as your legs, your hands behind the legs, and you're just walking your hands up towards the heels, trying to keep the sacrum down to the floor. Pelvis keeps pulling forward as the legs fold over the torso. It's just like Paschimottanasana, and Paschimottanasana on your back. Happy baby pose, bend the knees. Supta Baddha Konasana, feet together, all the way to the mat. Your knees split apart like a book. So curl your tongue and take a very long breath in through a curled tongue. With that curled tongue, you'll notice that you can just lengthen that inhale so much longer than you normally do. Very cooling breath. But you can still breathe in here. Now exhale out your nose. So inhale through your nose. Open your mouth and let it go. So curl your tongue again. And stretch that inhale really long. And when you can't breathe in anymore, breathe in some more. And then exhale out the nose. So inhale through the nose. And the sigh of relief out the mouth. Reach your heels to the corners of your yoga mat. Arms flop open by your sides. Just completely surrender to gravity and give yourself full permission to tap into this place of deep conscious rest. So like you fall awake in this pose. So dial back into the breath. Bring some small movements in the distal parts of your limbs, and that movement moves into the more proximal part of your limbs. You can stretch your arms back, reach your legs forward. Take a long, slow, deep breath in. And let it go. Bend your knees, hug your knees in. Drop your right arm behind you over your head, and you're just going to roll over to the pillow of your right arm. And then bring that quality of Shavasana with you up to your seat. I'm just going to find a comfortable seated position. You sit up nice and tall. A little gesture of gratitude towards your practice. Bring your palms together at your heart. Feel the effects. Bow your head. Namaste.